Myself right up on out of here. I feel like a disgrace. I'm not really what I appear. I go home to my girl and I make nicey nice. The fact that she don't know that I just put someone on. I don't like being here. I constantly live in fear. Could be gone at any time. When you live a life of crime, face the music to the time. I'm trapped again, and fate as always hasn't wrapped again. I always get caught in my life of sin, but I just keep on going back again. You know I'm lost again, when all I wanted was to find a friend. Someone that I can always depend on to help me find my life again. You know I'm trapped again.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mayhemtainment. In this episode, we are going to talk about the NBA playoffs. But more than that, Mike D, you are now the official. You were the last piece of data that I needed to collect. It is now official. More than 90% of Mayhemtainment guests find themselves rocking out to Marcus Frederiksen's music during the intro. You can't help it. So that's why everybody needs to go check out his music right now. ReverbNation.com/Marcus Frederiksen. And go listen to his music, share out your favorite song, and help get him some more listeners. We miss you, Marcus. So those 8 or 10 songs, that's all we're gonna get. Though we may have found some other content with his old band, but that's for another time. Go check out his music, hit that share button, because every guest who comes on Mayhemtainment finds themselves rocking out to his music while they're waiting to go live. So that's just the way it is. It's official. There's nothing anybody can do about it. You find yourself doing it whether you want to it or not. Mike D, welcome back to Mayhemtainment.
What up, JD? You all right?
Yeah, man, good. Things are going good. Of course, we were talking in the pre-show about how, of course, we're still trying to recruit Mike D and have him bring him and his brand underneath Mayhem Media, the growing company that it is. I got big things planned for Mike D if he would just say yes, but he's still holding out. So please go to his channels, go to his YouTube, go to his Facebook, Wrestling from the 313, and make sure you tell him that Mayhem Media sent you, and then make sure you also tell him to join the team. Just get it over with. He's going to be working for us anyway at some point in time. Might as well just get in at the ground floor, you know what I mean? Then maybe get a piece of the company. So sorry about the sound there. That was my phone going off. I forgot to turn it off again. And unfortunately, Mike, I'll have to make you a ticker here in a minute so we can get your information up there. But yes, Wrestling from the 313. Go check out on Mike D's channels. He's on YouTube. He's on Facebook. Where else are you? You're on TikTok. And now you have your own shop, too, on Facebook or whatever.
So I got my Wrestling from the 313shop.com. The site is actually called the 313 Shop. That's where you can get all your Wrestling from the 313 apparel. So that's the 313 Shop at Wrestling from the 313 shop.com. Sorry for the whole inconvenience with the.
No, hey, that's how it happens. That's how it happens. Me and my former executive producer, now vice president, Ms. Pa, we're just going through the stuff to set up the Mayhem Media website last night, actually. And that was one of the things that we needed to be careful with, because we needed to do a test run to make sure that this was, what the software and stuff that we were using was, is going to be right for us. So we did like a test run first, and we had to be careful about what to name it because we didn't want to name it the same thing that we actually wanted to name the website. So we ran into the same issue. We had to be careful because we almost ended up with a website that was going to be mayhemmediaproduction.com/mayhem media. Like that, what kind of ridiculous name is that? So we almost ended up in the exact same situation if I hadn't have been conscious of it before we went into it. And that's only because of the problems I ran into when we first launched my sister show and Mayhem Media as it is. So I can understand it's real easy to run into those problems like that when you're setting up new stuff.
Yeah. And I just been just working on different little color schemes for the hoodies and t-shirts and stuff, just a lot of the colors and stuff that I made for my hoodies and t-shirts is inspirations from like basketball teams, sports teams here in Michigan. My high school colors, the royal blue and yellow. That's
not
the
a bad
inspiration
idea
for that, So, anything that pops up in my head, I just try to make a hoodie or a t-shirt or something, So, just letting my creative juices flow sometimes. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. If you joined Mayhem Media, you get access to a couple of graphic artists. Just throwing that out there. It's going to be like that all episode, just so you know, man. I'm trying to recruit you, man. We want you on the team, man. It's not just me. Everybody else, I'm like, yo, Mike D, Crander Q, they're both like, yo, you got to get him. I'm like, I'm trying. We're going to give Crander Q a shout out, friends of the Squared Circle. I don't know if he's still watching. I think he might have bounced by now, but that's okay because he's not the biggest of basketball fans. But we want to give him a shout out anyway because he does a lot of stuff to help us here on Mayhem Media. Another guy that we're trying to recruit, go hit up friends of the Crander Q from Friends of the Squared Circle.
Yeah,
get it over with and join Mayhem Media also.
Hey, real quick, Crander Q was getting real cold with those graphics. Because he made something for me for he's getting dope with them.
Oh, he's back. He had to get headphones. We're giving you a shout out, Crander Q, and yes, he is mad crazy with those graphics, and he's setting up like a side graphic company in addition to his Friends of the Squared Circle.
Yeah,
crazy. You guys are all crazy, dude. Make an umbrella company and put everything under that. Just join Mayhem and just get rid of all of it. Friends of the Squared Circle, Crander Q, Mike D. Just join the team.
We trying to be like you, man, and trying to have our own companies. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to have to compete with you. I want you on the team and make it bigger.
Hey, man, there ain't no compete. Hey, it's enough money for all of us to get out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. But we can get it quicker if you join Mayhem and join the team. It's not going away. Seriously, I mean, you guys are going to be working for me anyway. You know that, right? You guys understand that. I mean, even if you guys wait until I give you a big check, then you won't own part of the company. That's what I'm saying. We got to get you in now so you can be in at the ground floor. Hey, Joe Monroe's part of the team, Crander Q. You're not right at the moment, pal. You know what I mean? He's got a slice. He's got his slice. You don't have yours yet, pal. Just saying. Hey, I'm just saying, pal. No, anyway, so let's get off that now. We're going to talk about some NBA basketball here. That's what I wanted to have Mike D on for. I've been reaching out to Mike D to help us cover some other sports because there are some other sports that you follow, not just wrestling. And I definitely you're good at analyzing sports, so definitely want to have you on. We're going to try and keep Mike, even though he's not officially part of the team, we're going to try and make him a regular occurrence when we want to cover some of these other sports. And just co-opt him a little bit. Yeah, you're not wrong, Crander Q. You are here. There's a couple of people here. Oh, and there's Joe Monroe. Joe Monroe's here. Basketball. Joe Monroe. Check out the Joe Monroe show. You're right. I got to do all the shout outs to everybody on Mayhem. Joe.
Hey, shout out to Joe for getting that video with Ricky Steamboat too. Hey,
yeah.
Got to throw that out there too.
Yo, yeah, dude. It's always nice, dude, when you got people coming up to you wanting your t-shirt and wanting to get a picture with you. So Ricky the Dragon Steamboat came up to Joe Monroe and wanted one of his t-shirts and wanted to get a picture with him. And that's just awesome.
Yeah.
So, and that's great because Joe Monroe is also a member of the Mayhem Media family now. He officially brought his show and his everything underneath the banner. You can also get some Joe Monroe apparel now, not to cut you off there, Mike D, with your clothing line and apparel storefront. But Joe Monroe's apparel is now not freely available, but is available on the JDE Designs storefronts. Mayhem Media is getting its own storefront. I am working on that. I have a lot of different things going on right now, but I will be setting Mayhem Media up with its own storefront. But for right now, you can get some Joe Monroe apparel on the where the Mayhem Media apparel is on the JDE Design storefront. That's bonfire.com/store/JDE Designs, and that's with a Z at the end of it, just like on the t-shirt, the Z on the end of it, and pick up some Mayhem Media apparel and some Joe Monroe apparel and some Into the Barricade apparel. We got lots of new things coming out, lots of new things happening. Go pick it up. Joe Monroe.
Hey, Joe, what up, though?
The 313. And of course, Joe, he's going to be getting a share of his profits from his shirts that sell. So buy, because that's what he wants and that's what we want as well. All the shirts are great quality too. I know we're 15 minutes in, we haven't discussed any basketball, but the apparel that we have on our storefront is really, really great quality. I've had this shirt now going on for almost 4 years, and it's still barely faded. Yeah, it's really great. All of their apparel is really great. It's a little bit more expensive than you're going to find most storefronts, but the quality is worth what you're going to buy, because you're going to still have this shirt 4 or 5 years from now easily. So go pick one up regardless of the price. I know some of the stuff's a little bit, I would keep everything as reasonably priced as I can, as reasonably priced as Bonfire will allow me to keep it. So trust me, it's not about so much the profits on our storefront. It's more about just the marketing, getting other people to wear our apparel and advertise. So go get some apparel, please. And of course, Mike D, go get some apparel for him. Help him grow so that he's worth more when we pick him up. Okay, Joe Monroe is going to donate his side of the profits to any charity of my choosing.
Oh, that's what's up.
So yeah, I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but some of those profits might just be going to the Mayhem Media to help that continue to grow, which I would appreciate. But then we will definitely make sure we donate to a charity then as well for Joe Monroe, since he wants to do that. So we're absolutely going to make that happen as well. So that's something I wanted to do too for Mayhem. I wanted to do some charitable stuff, but man, it's all I can just to keep up with everything and growing the company right now. You know what I mean? I think what I got to do is just keep trying to put people in place, and then it'll free me up to actually be able to try and take on some other things. So we would like to do that. That's stuff we want to do. We just haven't had the capabilities yet.
Right. Hey, it's all baby steps. You know what I'm saying? It's
baby steps build a company.
Hey, you'll get there. Just keep going.
Christopher, I'm sorry, I'm not going to try and pronounce your last name because I'll butcher it, but he wants us to get to basketball, so let's get to basketball. Joe Monroe's not in it for the money. No, not yet, Joe, but you are going to get paid if you stick with me long enough. Crander Key, that's not polite. We're talking about real donations, and he wants to donate Joe to charity. How awful is that? That's not cool. And now all the Celtics fans are now blocked. You're all blocked. You're all blocked. No, I'm not going to harass people. We're going to lean on Mike D for this episode. And stick around, because a little bit later we're going to and I'm keeping an eye on the game. Right now the Nuggets and the Timberwolves are playing, and I've always wanted to do a live watch along, and Mike D is actually going to help me attempt this. This is going to be our first live watch along that we're going to attempt on this episode. Keep that in mind, because we get removed from YouTube or Facebook because of that. Go check us out on Rumble. We are live on Rumble as well. And, just because we get removed from Facebook or YouTube, we will not get removed from Rumble. So please check us out there. It's the safest place to watch us. But we are going to do a little bit of a live watch along with the Denver, Minnesota game coming up, which I'm very excited about, Mike D. I'm very excited that you were willing to give that an attempt, because we wanted to do that before. We're concerned about the NFL because they're so copyright. I don't want them to crush us. WWE, we can't have on YouTube because, because they're the same way, and I don't want them to crush us. But the NBA, I don't know if they will do that. So we're going to attempt this live watch along. So we're in the NBA playoffs, Mike D. Let me throw it to you. If you're new to the basketball sport, or getting into it a little bit, because the playoffs always are a little bit more exciting. They always attract a little bit more attention. So let's assume that there's some people who aren't basketball fans right now. What is it that you find exciting about the sport, or why do you enjoy it?
I've always
Try to
been
put
a
you on the
fan of
spot
basketball.
there.
I've always been a fan of basketball. I'm from Detroit, so I grew up on the Detroit Bad Boys. You know, Isaiah, Dumars, Rodman, and just through the years, been a fan of Jordan and the Bulls and Shaq and the Lakers, LeBron. I think what's special about this playoffs is the second round. We're going into this basically new stars. It's no LeBron, it's no Kevin Durant, it's no Steph Curry.
I noticed that.
Yes. So the Warriors didn't make the playoffs, and the Lakers and the Suns got put out in the first round. So this is like the first. It's kind of like the changing of the guard, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm trying. Unfortunately, I don't think I can zoom. I don't think I can zoom this in. Let me see if I can zoom this in. Yeah, you're right. When I looked at that, and I'm sorry, I'm not a LeBron James fan. I'm not. You know, you can sue me all you want, but it's just I'm not a LeBron fan. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's definitely no Michael Jordan. It's a different game than when they played. I don't know. I'm not a LeBron James fan. Not at all.
Hey,
That's just me personally.
That's my guy. Jordan will always be the GOAT, but I don't think that LeBron is far behind. I think
I'll name you 5 other players I would put on the GOAT list before LeBron James. So that's that's my opinion though.
Who you got on that GOAT? Who you got on your list?
I would put Michael Jordan, certainly. I would definitely Larry. I would probably put Larry Bird on there, definitely. I was always a fan of Gary Payton, Scottie Pippen, Shaq, Barkley, Karl Malone. All of those guys I would put above LeBron James. All of those guys I would put above LeBron James. Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, dude, I'm sorry. I would put, and there's lots of other names that I'm sure I wouldn't even remember right now. I'm not a LeBron James fan. I'm not a fan of him. The game's different. I think the game's different. I think he's a whiner. I think the game is easier than it was back when Jordan and Pippen and that Abdul-Jabbar and Bird and those guys were playing. I think it's an easier game, and I think LeBron cries too much in an easy game.
I'll say this, and Jordan was a crybaby too. When he played against the Pistons, and they was knocking him on his butt until he was like, okay, I'm about to get in the weight room. We about to work it out. We about to work on our games in the offseason. That's when the Bulls finally got over that hump with the Pistons. But when the Bulls played the Pistons and the Pistons used to put the Bulls on their butt, Jordan went to David Stern and was telling him that he didn't like what they were doing as far as the physicality. And they changed the rules up for Jordan. So, I mean, for me, I think all these players whine. You know what I'm saying? I think they all, to a certain point,
once you reach that point, like that point where you think you're a star or whatever, and you deserve different treatment, I think you're right. It's you reach a different point than when you're in the trenches and you're hungry for it. You know what I mean? When you're still being discovered.
Because even when Jordan was at his best, Jordan got a lot of foul calls that, you know what I'm saying, that went his way. So it's like, I mean, you know, LeBron did what he had to do to get his calls. I mean, every player does it. Like,
yeah, you're not wrong. I'm just not, like I said, man, it's more about, I'm just not a LeBron James fan. I'm not a fan of him. I think he cries too much, and I don't think he's that good. And that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. But I'm not a big, like,
I think some of the things that he does, like, I will say, you know, when his team gets eliminated and he just walks off the court, I think that is disrespectful, because it's like, you know, congratulate the other team, you know, don't walk off and be mad and stuff like that. Even the whole situation with his coach, Darvin Ham, that just got fired from the Lakers. Like, you know, if you want your coach to stay, say something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I think some stuff like that, I think, you could kind of question, you know, some of the things that you would question some of the things that he do, but you can't question what he does on the court, like his
No, he's
numbers.
certainly talented. Yeah, he's certainly talented. I'm not going to deny that he's not talented or anything like that.
And
Christopher, I do agree with you that he's not maybe the top 25. Maybe I might put him in the top 25. Maybe. Oh, sorry, dude. Christopher says that he's LeBron James is not a top 10, maybe top 25.
I don't know about this.
I think that's where I'd put it. I think that's where I'd put it too. But that's, like I said, that's just my opinion. And like I said, you're more of that's why I'm having you on this episode. You're more the basketball analyst than I am, because you watch and pay attention to the sport a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
And not the least of which that I don't have as much time, you know, to try and keep up. If I try to keep up with every sport, I wouldn't be able to produce any content. So there you go. That's why I lean on others. That's why I lean on my friend Mike D when I want to do bring some basketball to Mayhem Media, which also gives you a chance, Mike D, to talk about something else other than wrestling. You know, you could do that a lot more often if you just joined Mayhem. So we're past the first round. We're in the semifinals now, right?
Yeah, we're in the second round. Yeah,
the conference finals. That's what this round is called on the basketball side. So, what's happening here? Who do you have a pick yet? Who do you like to make it to the finals from each side?
Oh, you know what? For the West, I got Denver representing the West. In the East, it looks like it might be I'm leaning towards the Celtics, but the New York Knicks got blew out today. But I kind of like the Knicks, but they do have one of their top players, OG Anunoby. He suffered a hamstring injury. So I think that might hurt the Knicks a little bit. But if I had to pick for the NBA Finals, I would go with the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics.
And there we got, I'm going to show them a little bit closer for everybody. We got the Pacers and the Knicks. The series is tied 2-2. The Thunder and the Maverick. Dallas leads. The Mavericks leave that 2-1. Sorry, I thought that was where the east side was going to be. Nope. And then we got the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. They're playing right now. That's the game we're going to do a live watch along in just a few minutes. The fourth quarter is about to start, so we're probably going to start that in just a few minutes. Tune into that. It's on TNT and it's on HBO Max or Max. So tune in if you want to join us for that live watch along. You can watch along the game and we'll talk about what's happening. And did I miss one? Where's the other game? Oh, the Celtics and the Celtics. Sorry, I keep calling them the Celtics. The Celtics and the Cavaliers. And Boston leads that 2-1. And you're saying, so you think it's going to be the Knicks?
I think the Knicks will end up beating the Pacers to go to play the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think the Nuggets are going to play OKC. Even though they down 2-1, I think the Thunder will beat the Mavericks. So I think it'll be the Thunder and the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals.
Gotcha.
Knicks and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Gotcha. All right. Well, like I said, I'll yield to your opinion on that. I have been watching the Nuggets and the Timberwolves game. It is a very close game. There's 2.2 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Denver has really turned it on, though. I mean, I watched them.
Yeah.
Minnesota was up at the very beginning of this game, and from like after the first 4 to 5 minutes, man, Denver just really turned it on and started running away with it. They're up 90-78 right now. Oh, wait, am I a little bit behind? Oh, yeah, I guess I think it is the end of the fourth quarter. So,
yeah.
So we're going to do here. Let me remove this. Yeah, we'll take questions, Grander Q. Sorry, I don't have any visuals because I didn't have time to make them, and I didn't tap you because I'm trying to treat you with respect and not as one of my employees, even though I would love to have you as one of my employees in the Mayhem Media family. So if you just join the team, then we could just get all that taken care of.
I just want to say one thing. The NBA had the draft lottery today. The Pistons were supposed to have like the best odds to get the number 1 pick, and we were screwed once again. We got the 5th pick in this year's draft. And
talk about that for a second, because I don't think a lot of people know that about the about the basketball. How does the draft happen? In most sports, it's the team that finishes last that gets the first pick. Is that not the way it is for basketball?
It is no, they actually got like the three teams that got the top three worst records. They have the best chances of getting the number one pick. But I guess they got this whole lottery system that they use, and you know what I'm saying. And yeah, it's crazy. The team that got the number one pick, the Atlanta Hawks, had a 3% chance of getting the number one pick.
That just doesn't make any. That doesn't make any sense to me. I guess just to.
Yeah. I think the only league that goes by the records is the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? They're the only ones that do it based on record? Not even baseball does it that way?
Baseball might do it too.
Okay. Let's see what Kerner Q wants to ask us questions before we get to the watch along. They're in a commercial anyway. Okay, you have to add 4 teams to the NBA. What cities would you pick? I'm not really entirely sure what cities don't have.
I could pick.
I don't know that I could pick which.
I could pick 4. I could pick 2 off the bat. Las Vegas, Seattle, maybe Pittsburgh, and maybe a city like St. Louis or something like that. St. Louis had an ABA team back in the day, and they got the arenas and they downtown is nice. So I could see St. Louis with an NBA team. Definitely Seattle, Las Vegas. Those are probably, when the NBA add 2 more expansion teams, those will probably be the cities that get the expansion teams, Seattle and Las Vegas.
Yeah, I would say I would probably put Pittsburgh on the list as well. I don't know how I guess you get Toronto. Do they have a Toronto basketball team, Mike?
Yeah, they used to have one in Vancouver is another, because they used to have the Memphis Grizzlies. They were in Vancouver when they came into the league.
I mean, Montreal maybe.
Nah, I see Montreal being more of a hockey city.
Jacksonville or Tampa, perhaps, maybe. But honestly, I would take Mike D's picks. He seems to know it. He seems to probably have a better. I'm just trying to look at like cities that are big enough that could probably handle a franchise. I do agree with you with Vegas. Definitely with Vegas. Maybe Albuquerque, New Mexico, perhaps, because I don't think
New Mexico.
New Mexico doesn't have a team. Doesn't have a basketball team at all.
I could see the NBA putting a team in Mexico, in the country Mexico, before they put one in New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, because they got a nice fan base down in Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Or maybe Calgary or Edmonton in Canada. But yeah, I think Mexico City's pretty south there. Monterey, maybe. No, but yeah, I think your picks are probably going to be the best picks. That's what I would pick too. Like you said, St. Louis, maybe Kansas City.
Yeah.
Definitely Vegas. Maybe Nashville or Cincinnati. I think Pittsburgh would be a good choice too. So yeah, I think those would be the teams probably that we would pick there.
And then
I don't have any suggestions for teams.
And then it also depends on what city you'll be able to.
Baltimore. I didn't think about Baltimore. Maybe Baltimore.
That's a good one. It also depends on what city want to put out that money for a new arena too.
Yeah, I don't think that's. Yeah, I don't understand that either. What city? Why do the cities pay for their arenas? I don't get that. I'm a fan of sports, but I'm a little indifferent to that part of it. I don't get why cities pay for the sports for the sports franchises to get new arenas. They make hundreds of millions of dollars. They should be able to build their own arena and maintain their own arena. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, the way a lot of these sports teams are valued in the billions now. So yeah, they got the money.
Yeah, and I guess that's part of it, though. You know, if you got a city that's willing to pay you, that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That's what the great thing about capitalism and free market enterprise. It doesn't matter. If cities want to spend their tax dollars on that, and people are voting in the mayors and stuff who spend their tax dollars on it, and as long as cities are willing to pay for arenas, basketball teams will go to a city that wants to pay for them. Why the hell not? Who wouldn't do that? That's just common sense in terms of business.
Now Toronto is getting the WNBA team in 2026.
We should do that. We'll have to do another episode and do the WNBA as well. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think it's as popular, and I think there's reasons for that maybe we could discuss in that episode. But I wouldn't mind doing an episode on the WNBA as well.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on to the live watch along a little bit, Mike D, if you don't mind here, because we're getting down. It's 9.5 minutes in the fourth quarter.
All right.
Denver's up 96-85. How are you at commentating basketball? Are you good at it? That was a nice alley-oop right there. If you're watching the game right now, that was a nice alley-oop.
Yeah.
And they're at intermission on my screen. So, but how are you? Have you ever called a basketball? Is this your first time?
Yeah. I can try.
I just don't know the people as much, but yeah, we're gonna have some fun here. Do a little watch along.
All right.
Of course, they're in intermission right when we go to it. They go to commercial. So,
right.
If anybody's watching, feel free to put on the game. It's on TNT and Max. If you want to follow along and watch it while we talk a little bit more about it here for the last little bit of the fourth quarter, or at least a little bit of the fourth quarter. We don't want to get YouTube to take us down or anything like that. We're still live on YouTube, and we won't show the game on the screen, though. That's why you have to watch along. It's a watch along, not a.
Yeah.
We're not going to put it on the screen because I don't want to be shut down.
Right.
And listen, YouTube didn't allow me to have one of my review episodes on there because it was the one where Ric Flair won the Royal Rumble, and I decided to put in his interview after he won the Royal Rumble, and YouTube was like, nope. I have it on Rumble. It's available on Rumble, complete with the interview, but the YouTube version doesn't have the interview with it. If I even have the episode on our YouTube channel, it doesn't have the Ric Flair interview with it, but it's on the Rumble one.
And YouTube don't be playing. Facebook don't be playing either.
No, they really don't. It's I get it. I understand that. You know what I mean? And if people are worried about like, oh, Rumble violates copyrights, no, they don't. They're just a little bit more they're just a little bit more laxed on it is all. You know what I mean? They have a little bit more leeway with what you're allowed to post and what you're not allowed to post.
Right. Yeah.
Boy, commercials. So
right.
Of course we're talking about doing like a watch along show with wrestling too, with Saul Good, who will be coming back in June with our Into the Barricade picks back up again. He was talking about doing some like live watch alongs with some pay-per-views and stuff like that. So we are going to be trying to get a little bit more into that type of thing.
Okay, cool.
We're making big things happen in Mayhem, Mike D. That's why you should join us.
Everybody.
I'm a salesman, man.
Right.
Always pitching.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You got to push your brand, man.
Yep, absolutely. And it's still a commercial because the basketball needs to make their money too. So since they're at intermission, go check out our storefront, bonfire.com/store/JD Designs. That's with a Z at the end of it. Pick up some Mayhem Media apparel and some Joe Monroe Show apparel. And also go to Mike D's Wrestling from the 313 shop and pick yourself up some wrestling from the 313 apparel and support his brand. Tell him that Mayhem Media sent you, and then tell him to stop being stubborn and join the team. All right, so the game's back on. 96-85, Denver over Minnesota. A little under 9.5 minutes to go. So who do you think? I mean, based on what I've seen here, Denver is just, they're really doing what they want to do. After the first 4 or 5 minutes, they've really been deciding what they want to do.
Yeah. But you know what is crazy? Because when this series started, Denver lost the first 2 games. They lost the first 2 games, and then they
And this
won the
guy,
last one.
Who's this guy here? There, 15.
Nikola Jokic. He's the league
Jokic.
MVP. He won it this year for the 3rd straight year.
Dude, there's a reason he's the league MVP. I can tell you that already because I've been watching this game a short time, and he's hungry.
Yeah, he's a center, but he plays like a guard. Like he's kind of like a point center. Like,
yeah, did I see him throw up a 3 earlier in this game?
Yeah, and he can pass the ball. Of course, he can grab rebounds because he's a big man. He pretty much averages close to a triple double.
Dang. Yeah. That's not easy to do if you're watching and you're not familiar with basketball. Triple doubles is not something to pull off, let alone averaging it.
Yeah, but Russell Westbrook did it. I think he did it for like 3 or 4 seasons in a row at one time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
27 points for say his name again?
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you keep doing that.
Yes, he probably about to get a triple double or close to it at the end of this game. Anthony Edwards is a good player too, number 5 for the Timberwolves. He's like they trying to say he got this killer instinct like Michael Jordan or Kobe. He does have a killer instinct, but it's like we got to stop with the comparison.
I know you got to stop. I mean, they do it in racing too, man. They do it in racing. They do it in football. Oh, it's the next. But I understand why more and more athletes are saying when they're asked, "Hey, who do you compare yourself to?" And I've seen it. More and more athletes, fighters, football players, whatever. They're like, "I'm not the new anything. I'm the first."
And that's what he said. And that's what he said. He don't like the comparisons. He said he want for somebody to come into the league and be the next Anthony Edwards, or you know what I'm saying? He's like, he don't want to be compared to Jordan or Kobe. And it's like, you like the media's got to stop that.
Yeah. Who wants that anyway? Like, unless there's a style, and I mean a style, like unless the way you move on the court, the way you shoot, unless your style is so similar to another person's that it's hard to tell the difference, then that I could see. But other than that, there's no reason, I think, to call them the next anything. Oh, that was some really nice move there. Minnesota picked up the ball on a steal. It was a wild pass. They tried to prevent it from going out of bounds. Minnesota cannot capitalize, though. That's been the story. That was a good there. They caught the foul, but that seems to be what I've been seeing is the Timberwolves aren't capitalizing when they get the opportunity. They're not capitalizing.
Hey, they're starting to get some momentum because they were I think they were down almost 20 early in the game. Now they down 11.
Yeah, they are trying to bring it back, and they can bring it back to 9 if he can make both these shots right here. Oh,
this guy that's at the line right now, Rudy Gobert, he was the one that shut the league down when COVID started.
Oh, okay.
They had a press conference or whatever, and he said he didn't have the virus, and he touched all the microphones on the press conference. The next day, the league had to shut down all the games because players was getting sick. They had to cancel a lot of games or whatever, and that's when the pandemic had really, really started and everything was shutting down.
Yeah. If we were on our sister show right now, I'd ask you some follow-up questions about that particular thing. I'll say, I'll let it go with that was a nice 3. I don't know, Braun, number 0 there for Denver. They're still keeping the heat on, man.
Woo! And the Denver Nuggets won the championship last year, so they got, you know what I'm saying, you can't count out the champs.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're 13 points up, I think is what it is right now. They're at a commercial right now. They're 13 points up. And it's a close game. I mean, it's a close game right now.
And Minnesota kind of this season kind of came out of nowhere. I'm trying to remember if they made the playoffs last year. If they did, they were like a lower seed. So now to see them, they came out of nowhere, and now I think that they were the number 3 seed this season. So they're a good team, but they still a young team. And, a young team that's just coming out of nowhere on the rise. And then you got to go up against the champs in the second round.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? And they got a full, healthy roster. And then you got the MVP, the league MVP that you got to play up against. It's going to be tough for those guys. But, Minnesota got a good future. Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns are 2 guys on Minnesota that they are building around and got a good future. So they'll definitely be in the mix next season too.
Well, there's still commercial. I think you want to do another small segment when the game comes back. We'll follow along for we'll do a little bit longer here, and then we'll get ready to close it out, you think?
Yeah, that's cool. Anybody got any questions? Any basketball questions?
Yeah, leave us a question. If you have a basketball question, leave us a comment. Tell us what your favorite team is. Sorry, I didn't make any visuals for this episode. It's been a long weekend for me. We've had rain in Pennsylvania for the last 3 days, so my pain level's been pretty high, so it's not been easy to stay up on things and stuff. I was going to make a couple, and I didn't want to tap Crander Q. Crander Q's crazy. And if you're looking for visuals, if you're building a show, if you're a showrunner and you want some visuals, or you want some interaction screens, things to put up to solicit comments from people, he is your man. He is getting excellent and crazy good at it. So make sure you go check him out. Crander Q, Friends of the Squared Circle. He hasn't officially launched his new graphics thing yet, but I know he's getting ready to.
Yeah, I heard he been kind of thinking about some names for his company.
Yeah. Very, very industrious. That's why I want him on the team too. Go hit him up. Go hit up Friends of the Squared Circle and tell him to join Mayhem Media already and get it over with. I'm telling you, man, I can, if I can pick up you and Crander Q, man, we can take it to the next level, dude. And of course, the thing that seems to be the biggest selling point for us right now is, man, like I said, man, me and Misbah were doing the website last night, man. We got the initial setup and kind of got an idea for how we want it to look and stuff. So we get the website up and start getting a few written stories up, a few written articles up, dude, and we'll be able to get credentialed as press.
Sweet.
Then I'll go down to Philly. And I'll wave to you from the 76ers game with my press pass around my neck.
Or at the Eagles game, huh?
Yeah. And then I'll even say into the camera, "See, Mike D, you should have joined me. You could be here." Oh man. Yeah, they're back here, and both these teams are playing hard.
Yeah.
I don't know the names. I'm looking forward to doing a watch along with a sport that I know a little bit better. So, yeah. But this is still kind of cool to do here. The best I could do is give numbers, not names. I don't know the names of these people.
Yeah, I can.
I can't pronounce his name. The guy who's got the ball right now, I can't pronounce his name.
Who? Jokic.
Yeah. Oh, nice shot there by number 50, Gordon.
Oh yeah, Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon. Yeah, that was a nice shot from just outside the paint.
Ooh. Yeah, he won the dunk contest.
Is he the one? Ago. I saw it. I wasn't sure. I thought the hair looked familiar, but I wasn't sure if it was him or not. Yeah, I saw him doing some crazy stuff for the dunks. Yeah. 3. Oh man, big shot for Minnesota, man, to stay within 10. I don't know who that was that shot it. I'm sorry.
Mike Conley.
Oh, Mike Conley. There we go. 13 points. He's 5 for 11 in field goals. I missed his 3-point stats.
Yeah, Mike Conley been in the league for a while.
5 for 11 is not the greatest of numbers.
Yeah, under 50%.
What's good, Mike D? Oh, that was a nice shot by what's his name? Jokic.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe I got that right. That was a nice.
You said what's a good shooting percentage?
Yeah. What's a good shooting percentage for somebody if you're new to the sport?
I would say 45% and up is a
Really?
good
Okay.
shooting percentage.
Oh,
I think if
Anthony Edwards there's 15 for 22.
yeah, and he's 5 for 8 from the 3-point line. Yeah, but I think if you could shoot like anywhere from 35% on up from the 3-point line, that's real good too.
Oh, that was an air ball there. That didn't even hit the. Wasn't that? Did I hit the rim? Is it a foul if it's just an air ball and doesn't hit the rim, or is it not? Is it just a dead ball or whatever? Anybody can grab it.
Yeah. Now, if when the shot clock is winding down, if the ball doesn't hit the rim, then it's a shot clock violation. Because when the ball hits the rim, and it kind of resets the shot clock.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah. It has to hit the rim or something for the shot clock to actually be reset. Yeah.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert, he won Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Oh, Denver's got some foul trouble there. He's got a couple of players. Looks like five with 3 or 4 fouls now. That's not the best thing you want to have either.
Yeah. Oh, good tip in.
Looks like I'm running just a little bit ahead of you on the on what I'm seeing here, so I'll make sure I keep that in mind. Oh man, this guy! Oh my gosh! And they let him open, and he couldn't close it. He couldn't close it, Mike D.
Ooh. He was supposed to finish that.
Denver. Oh, and they can't finish again. 2 in a row. Denver can't finish. Oh man, that is not the way you want the last minute and a half to go. There's 4:40 left. Denver's up by 8, but they just had a back and forth run. But both times Denver couldn't capitalize. They had breakouts, and both times Denver couldn't close the couldn't close it out. But they did end up with the ball here though on the out. They did end up getting the ball here on their end.
Yeah, because
what's his name? Jovic?
Yeah, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, Jovic, man, from inside the paint, dude. That's insane, man. I can't believe how could you 13 for 23. Okay, so 31 points. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
.421 left. Minnesota's trying to make a comeback. Denver's not without its mistakes, but Jovic, man. I mean, look at that, dude. I'm watching the replay of what just happened there. You can't leave him open and in the paint. Oh, and then they're showing a replay on the game, and now we missed someone getting injured. Conley's down, dude. Conley's down.
Ooh.
Oh, are you seeing this?
No, I ain't see it yet.
All right, well, I'm going to wait till you see the replay because I want to ask you about this this collision that just happened.
Oh.
Yeah, you seeing the collision?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the deal with that? That's a foul on who?
That might be a foul on Denver, but it
looks like they're getting the free throw. They're going to get the free throws here. So what they called it on Minnesota.
Oh, they called it on Minnesota.
So how is it on him then?
Probably the contact. He probably made contact
because he was already in the air.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know the rules are a little. I mean, I don't know. I'm speaking for somebody who doesn't know the game as well. The rules are weird. How do you get called for the offensive foul over the defensive foul? Like, you know what I mean? Like when is it a foul to actually collide with someone? Because we see collisions. That dude did not look happy that it just got rolled out.
Right.
Miscommunication by Minnesota. That's not what you want here.
Now, I think if Conley had the ball, if it was the other way around and Braun fouled Conley, then they probably would have reviewed it to see if it was a flagrant. That's why I was looking at it like they called that on Conley, but they probably called it on Conley because Braun was the one going to the rim.
Yeah, because he was already in the air. And that's like interfering with the shot, right? At what do you happen to know at what point in the shot process can you not be touched? or it's a foul?
I just think if you just touch it, you know what I'm saying, you going up in the air and you touch somebody's hand, or if it's just like
so it has to be like hand. So it has to be like hand or arm contact, because I see them with their hands on their bodies and stuff all the time, but it seems to be it's like hand or arm contact. Whoa. I'm a little bit ahead of Mike D there, so he's about to see it in a minute. But number 5 just tried to go in, and hands and stuff flailing everywhere.
Yeah, see, like that, like.
So what? That's on him then. That's not a foul.
No, that's on Braun. Braun fouled it.
Oh, it was a foul.
Yeah.
Okay, why was that? How was that a foul then?
Because when he was going up for the layup, he like slapped his arm.
Okay. So it's hand or arm contact,
or any type of contact, that any type of physical contact that, you know what I'm saying, that keep them from getting a clear shot is a foul.
Okay. Well, they're just over 4 minutes to go in the game. I believe they're back at intermission again. And that's probably where I think we're going to head out of our episode and wrap things up. Continue watching the end of the game if you are into basketball. I'm probably going to leave it on myself and watch the end of this game because I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. And Mike D, we're also coming up to about an hour, so that's about where we like to keep the episodes anyway. Make sure you tune back in. We'll definitely have you on again, obviously. We wanted to do this last month, but I got I don't remember what it was, if I was sick or if I got busy inside.
So.
But yeah, we had to reschedule for this month, so but we got it in. And I'd like to actually try and see if we can do another one like during the finals.
Okay.
Like once we got the 2 teams for the finals, maybe we can do another watch along. Maybe we'll try and do like a whole half watch along or something like that. So we'll talk to you, see if we can make that work. See if we can do like a whole half watch along or something on one of the finals games, or at least if nothing else, bring you a little bit of coverage and talk a little bit more about it.
And then,
go ahead.
I know you had mentioned the WNBA, so if you want to talk about the WNBA, we can do that too.
What's their schedule? When do they have their finals and so forth?
Their season actually starts Tuesday.
Oh, so men's basketball ends and then women's picks up. How coincidental is that?
Yeah, they always start their season when the men are in the playoffs. So it's like when the NBA season ends in June, you still got women's basketball going on probably until like October, November.
Is the women's season shorter than the men's season?
Yeah, the women is like 46 games. They've been starting to increase on the games every few seasons. But they're probably gonna have a big season this year with Caitlin Clark and then all the other rookies that are coming into the league. And then the champs, the Las Vegas Aces, they looking to three-peat. So it's gonna be the NBA, the WNBA is growing. It's not gonna get to the level of the NBA, but
not without the right players.
The women's league is growing, and Caitlin Clark is definitely gonna help the women get a lot more money. I'll just say that.
Yeah. And their pay is another conversation for the Boiling Point podcast. Maybe I'll have you on and we'll talk, and maybe we'll get you on an episode of the Boiling Point podcast, Mike D, and do a NBA, WNBA, and talk about the differences between the leagues and get into the nitty gritty a little bit, maybe.
I mean, we can do that on Mayhemtainment. I mean, it's really.
We're gonna get into politics and stuff. That's not gonna be. That's gonna need to stay on the other brand. It's gonna have to be on the sister show. That's what I want to say to everybody. Mayhem Media is a place where you're gonna come and you're gonna get entertained. That's what we're trying to do with Mayhem Media. We're trying to build a media company that's about entertainment. You come to us because you want to be entertained for an hour or so, and just drop everything else. You literally drop everything else. Okay, you drop the labels, you drop all the politics, you drop what you believe in, you leave all of that stuff and you just leave it alone for a little while. And you come here and you get entertained for a brief time. That's why you come to Mayhem Media. We're not going to talk about that stuff. We're not going to bring it up. You're coming here to get entertained, and that's what this is for. That's what Mayhem Media is for. That's why I don't talk about my beliefs or my positions and stuff. I've hinted at it, but I don't really talk about it because that's not what this is going to be. Mayhem Media is not that place. We are not going to talk that stuff on this channel. It is going to stay for entertainment purposes. You're coming here to be entertained and to leave all of that other crap away for at least a short time so you can recharge, so you can refresh, because everybody's got to put all that crap down for a little while. So if you want that stuff, go to the Boiling Point podcast, go to our sister show and check it out. And you can do that. I do two things. I talk politics and world news and faith and economics. That's on the Boiling Point podcast. Mayhem Media will always stay for entertainment where that stuff doesn't matter. I don't care. Doesn't matter. If you want to come on an episode, you can come on an episode. I don't care if you're a Democrat, a liberal, or whatever else it could possibly be that differs from me. It doesn't matter. You can come on this show. We can have some entertainment talk. That's what it's for. That's what it's going to stay.
Gotcha.
So I just want to make sure we decided, I talked to my team members, and we decided that we're going to start making that more clear to people that the Mayhem side is for entertainment. You come here to leave all that stuff by the wayside for a while. And you know what I mean? You come here to just forget it for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why you come here. Continue to come back, share out this episode, leave us a comment, go tell Mike D to just join Mayhem Media already and get it over with. And while you're there, subscribe to his channels and go check out his storefront. Pick up some wrestling from the 313 gear. Mike D, you and I should do I've been doing some gear exchange. You and I should, I'll buy you something from my storefront. You buy me something from yours. We should do, right. We'll do an apparel exchange. So that's something I just did with Joe Monroe. So, and he's on the team. So we should do an apparel exchange. And then we each got some of our own gear to help each other promote and stuff. All right, so we'll talk about that after the show. But go check out his storefront, pick up some wrestling from the 313 gear, and share out all of his stuff and hit that subscribe button. Let's help him get some more followers and viewers as well. And check Mayhem Media out. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and you can follow me on Twitter or X at Mayhem Prez, JD at Mayhem Prez, and you can follow me on X. I hate it, so I'm not on there very often, but you can follow me on it. I was going to make this the first episode where we were going to go live to X, but I did not have time to set that up. So stay tuned. We will be going live to X very soon as well. And until next time, I'm not sure when the next episode is going to be. We do have other stuff that's going to be coming up, but we don't have anything scheduled right at this point. So stay tuned to our social media to find out when we're going to be on the air again. And stay tuned to our channels. Hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on so that you know when we go live to YouTube, Facebook, or Rumble, and on X as well. For Mike D and Wrestling from the 313, I am JD, the president of Mayhem Media, giving a shout out to all my guys, Joe Monroe, Saul Good, Connor Clarkson, Frankie Corleone, Mizpah. Shout out to all you guys on the Mayhem team as we continue to grow our company and get bigger. And then until next time, that's the end.
Peace.